Welcome everyone. Today, we're talking about something that will make or break your startup. Business communication. Not just emails or meetings, but how your voice builds your brand and protects your bottom line. I'm Dr. Fahmy, and over the next hour, we're going to transform how you think about every message you send. Let's dive in. Look at this iceberg. What do you see? Emails, meetings, pitches. That's the visible tip. But beneath the surface, where ships actually sink, is everything else. Listening, empathy, tone, cultural awareness. George Bernard Shaw said, "The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place." You can send an email. That doesn't mean you communicated. Today, we go beneath the surface. By the end of this session, you will be able to do 5 things. First, diagnose why startup communication breaks down. Second, apply the 7 C's, a classic framework. Third, pitch any idea in 60 seconds. Fourth, handle a PR crisis live. And fifth, bridge digital and cultural divides. These aren't theory. These are tools you will use this week. Why should you care? Because 57% of projects fail due to bad communication. That's from the Project Management Institute. For a 100-person company, poor communication wastes $500,000 every year. And here's the killer. Great ideas die without great communication. Investors don't bet on technology. They bet on clarity. If you can't explain it simply, you can't sell it. Here's our roadmap. Foundations first, the communication loop and the 7 C's. Then internal versus external communication. Then the art of the pitch, my favorite section. Written comms, nonverbal and remote work, crisis management, and finally, a live workshop where you'll pitch to each other. Stick with me. Every section has an action you can use immediately. Let's delve into section 2, the foundations of communication itself. We will observe how communication actually works, the loop, the 7 C's, as well as the art of listening. Let's go. The communication loop involves a sender, message, channel, receiver, and finally, feedback, which closes the loop. Beware of noise, which distorts the message. Remember, if you don't get feedback, you didn't communicate. The 7 C's are your checklist. 1. Clear, know your goal. 1 message per email. 2. Concise. Delete every word that adds no value. 3. Concrete, say 48-hour delivery, not fast. 4. Correct, no typos, no wrong numbers. Credibility is fragile. 1 typo in an investor email can cost you. These 4 are non-negotiable. The remaining 3 C's are 5. Coherent. Your points must connect logically. 6. Complete. Your audience has everything they need to act. Don't make them guess. 7. Courteous, empathetic, respectful, win-win tone. Courtesy is the most violated C in group projects. Ghosting teammates is not professional. Treat every message like your reputation depends on it. Because it does. Quick poll. Which C is most violated in university group projects? Concise, concrete, or courteous? Show of hands. Most of you said courteous. Ghosting, late replies, ignoring messages. Concrete is a close second. Vague promises with no data. Here's the fix. Treat your team like investors. Would you ghost an investor? No. Same standard for teammates. Different channels for different jobs. Instant messaging like Slack. Urgent, simple, short. Email. Formal, documented, medium complexity. Phone or video. Emotional, complex, collaborative. Face-to-face, negotiation, sensitive feedback, trust building. The rule: don't use text for conflict. Don't use email for urgency. Wrong channel equals wrong outcome. Startups have special barriers. Jargon overload, let's circle back on the synergy, means nothing. Founder's bias, assuming everyone knows what you know. And fear culture, employees hide bad news instead of surfacing it. Your action: create a no-jargon pledge in your venture. Say what you mean what you say. Most entrepreneurs talk too much. Here's the 3-3-3 rule for listening. 3 seconds. Let the person fully finish. Don't interrupt. 3 minutes before you offer a solution. Sit with the problem. And 3 levels. Listen for facts, emotions, and intentions. The best founders listen more than they speak. Try that this week. We move on to section 3, internal versus external communication. This section is about aligning your team internally and protecting your reputation externally with the wider world. Internal communication with your team. The goal: ICE alignment and psychological safety. Your toolkit: daily stand-ups, retrospectives, open-door policy. Warning: don't manage by email. Email is a black hole. Use a single source of truth: Notion, Asana, Trello. So everyone looks at the same dashboard. Clarity reduces anxiety. External communication with investors, customers, suppliers, media, regulators. The rule: external comms must be tighter than internal. One slip goes viral. Case study: a startup lost $50,000 in pre-seed funding because of one bad tweet. One tweet. So before you post, before you send that press email, ask, if this leaked, would I be proud? A great example is Slack's launch. Slack launched as complicated B2B software, but they didn't talk about tech specs. They talked about reducing internal email. Their external message: be less busy. That's it. Result: $2.8 billion valuation in 2 years. Lesson: talk about the pain you remove, not the features you built. Customers don't buy features. They buy feelings. Communication flows both ways. Founder to team. Direction, vision, feedback. Team to founder. Reality, problems, ideas. Red flag: if you, the founder, talk 80% of the time, you are failing. The best ideas often come from the junior person who's afraid to speak. Create channels for them to speak safely. That's leadership. Take a moment for a 2-minute reflection. Grab a pen and write down one internal message and one external message you can sharpen this week. For example, how you delegate a task or an email you send to a customer. Now we move to Section 4, the art of the pitch. The goal is to turn ideas into stories that investors and customers actually remember. Pitches fail for 4 reasons. Too much tech, not enough story, no problem statement, just a solution. Jargon: leveraging blockchain for gamified synergy means nothing. And reading slides instead of connecting with humans. Investors invest in people, not PowerPoints. If you read, you lose. If you tell a story, you win. Here's the formula. Hook: you know how audience struggles with problem. Solution: we product that unique benefit. Then they ask, I'd love to show you a 2-minute demo. Are you free Thursday? That's it. No fluff, no jargon, just problem, solution, next step. Memorize this. You'll use it at networking events, interviews, everywhere. Bad pitch: we're a B2B SaaS platform using AI for optimized logistics. Abstract: forgettable. Good pitch: local restaurants lose $2,000 a month on spoiled produce. Our AI predicts exact daily needs, so they buy 20% less waste. Want to see how it works for one kitchen? Which one would you invest in? Exactly. Be the good pitch. Guy Kawasaki's 10-20-30 rule. 10 slides maximum, 20 minutes, not 60. 30-point font, so you can't add nonsense. Slide order: problem, solution, market, traction, team, ask. That's it. No mission statement slide. No technology slide, unless it's the solution. Investors have seen thousands of decks. Respect their time. Next is a live demo workshop. Pitch it. The task is to pitch a business idea in 60 seconds, real or fake, to a neighbor. The listener's job is to ask one clarifying question. Afterward, we'll debrief on clarity and confusion. We are now moving into Section 5, written communication. This covers discipline in messages across email and chat platforms like Slack. For emails that get action, your subject line must be a clear headline stating the action and deadline. Avoid vague subjects like meeting. Instead, use the SCQA structure: situation, complication, question and answer, to be complete and courteous. Never email customers from a no-reply address. As it silently communicates, we don't want to listen. Always use a real human name and email, such as alex@yourventure.com. Why? Because business is relationships. A no-reply address kills relationships. If you're afraid of customer feedback, you're in the wrong business. When using Slack or Teams, avoid drip-feeding messages. Instead, ask your question in one go. Also, remember to use your status to let people know when to expect a reply. For example, deep work or lunch. Let people know when to expect you. Respect their focus, and they'll respect yours. Regarding boundaries, remember the 5 a.m. email rule. Just because you're working at 11 p.m. doesn't mean your team should. Founder courtesy: use scheduled send. Write at 2 a.m., deliver at 9 a.m. Result: less burnout, more retention. Your startup will not die if an email waits until morning, but it might die if your whole team burns out. Boundaries are a competitive advantage. Rewrite this week message. Hey, read the investor deck we talked about, maybe updating the numbers before we send it out. Thanks. That's useless. Here's the rewrite. Subject: urgent. Investor deck V3 needs revenue update. Please replace slide 7 with the attached Q3 numbers. Need this by 2 p.m. today. Thanks. See the difference? Action, deadline, clarity. Do this every time. We move on to Section 6, Nonverbal and Remote Communication. This section covers body language, video calls, and communicating effectively across different cultures. Your body is talking too. Eye contact, 60 to 70% of the time. Not staring, not the floor. Hands, open palms build trust, pointing reads as aggression. Space, don't hide behind a lectern. Voice, lower pitch signals authority. A pause signals power. Record yourself pitching. Watch without sound. What does your body say? Zoom fatigue is real, caused by constant self-awareness. The fix, audio only walks for complex brainstorming. Camera rule, on for relationship building, off for deep solo work. Pro tip, look at the lens, not the person's face. That eye contact translates as looking into their eyes. Small tweak, huge difference in connection. When communicating across cultures, recognize the difference between high context and low context cultures. In high context cultures, like Japan, yes, may mean I hear you, not I agree. Low context cultures, US, Germany, yes, means literal agreement. The rule, when in doubt, over-explain in writing. Don't assume, clarify. A 5-minute clarification email can save a 5-month misunderstanding. Practice inclusivity in language. Replace guys with team, everyone, folks. Replace crazy or insane with unexpected or intense. Use pronouns in your email signature. She, her, he, him, they, them. Why? Because inclusive language widens your talent pool and your customer base. People want to work with and buy from people who respect them. It's that simple. We now enter Section 7, Crisis Management. This section focuses on staying honest, humble, and human when things go wrong in your business. Follow the 5-step crisis response. Crisis hits. Step 1, pause. Do not react in the first 3 minutes. Step 2, gather facts. What exactly happened? Step 3, write the apology. Problem, empathy, fix. Step 4, choose the same channel where it started. Step 5, debrief internally. How do we prevent a repeat? Speed without facts is just panic. Pause first. KFC ran out of chicken across the UK. Their response? A full-page ad with the bucket letters rearranged to read FCK, owning it with humor. Result: customers laughed, forgave, and sales recovered in 2 weeks. Lesson: honest, humble, human. Don't hide. Don't blame. Just say, we messed up. Here's how we fix it. Here's what not to do. Delete negative comments. Screenshots live forever. Blame an intern. It looks cowardly and dishonest. Use lawyer speak. We deeply regret if any parties feel fools no one. Golden rule. Apologize first. Explain second. Fix immediately. That's it. 3 steps. Your reputation will recover faster than you think. Your take-home prototype. Choose one. Record a 90-second investor pitch or write a customer apology email for a fake recall. Due date. Final quote. To communicate effectively, you must first listen, not to the words, but to the silence between them. Thank you. Go communicate.